with stories to unfold. Keep your eyes wide open and your soul won't grow cold. In the realm of the strange and the fantastical, lost in the dark, but it's light so magical.
Hey up, it's Stephen, old Yorkshire geek, and it's list time. I've done a list for a while, have I? Well, it seems like ages since I've done a list. Anyway, I'm doing one now, and it's another personal list. It's a top 10. I don't think I've done this before. I don't think I have. I hope I haven't, because I'm doing it now. If I have, well, I'm doing it again. I didn't bother to check back in my videos to see if I don't think I've done this before. It's my top 10, as you know from the title. My top 10 favourite movies of all time. And this is in order. It is, a proper countdown from 10 down to 1. Number 1 obviously being my favourite film of all time. And number 10 being my 10th favourite film of all time. Obviously there are many in this list that probably people disagree with. But this is my personal favourite list. Not necessarily the best films of all time, but they're my favourite ones. The ones I tend to watch more than any other. Ones I tend to go back to. Comfort movies more than anything. Out the warm blanket films. Although some of the ones I've gone for might not seem very warm blanket, but you know what I mean. The ones that you feel comfortable watching over and over again. I'm rambling. Before we start, don't forget, like and subscribe and share the videos and drop a comment and all that stuff. Explore the link, explore the description for links. I'm recording this as live, warts and all. Explore the description for links for various stuff like merch, t-shirts, hats, etc., stuff like that. My books, which are down here. Hang on, I've got them here. Look, they're not covered. They're not underneath a pile of things. My books: Silent Predator, short horror novella about big cats eating people in a North Yorkshire village, and Mercury Rapids, a light-hearted sci-fi action adventure about UFOs and stuff like that. It's all a bit of fun. An Amazon Kindle and paperback. Give them a whirl. What else? My Patreon page and there's other video. Website links and stuff like that in there. Become a member and then you'll get early access to videos and exclusive videos. For instance, you'll be able to access, if you're a member, you're watching this before everybody else. If you're not a member, you've had to wait to watch this. So there we go. And also there's exclusive videos as well, which I don't do enough members only exclusive videos. I should do more, I know. But anyway, let's get on with this list, shall we? We'll get on with it. It's a straight countdown from 10 down to 1. I'll see if I'll probably blank on all the bloody films. You know what I'm like once I start. But anyway, off we go. So let's begin. Here it is. This is number 10 in my list. Superman, the movie from 1978. By the way, a lot of these films are old films. I don't think there's any after 2000 when I think about it. Most of them are in the 70s. Anyway. Superman the movie from 1978, directed by Richard Donner, stars obviously Christopher Reeve. I've noticed here on this poster here, which I think is the original 1978 poster, Christopher Reeve's top billing. In the actual movie itself, I think he was third behind Gene Hackman and Marlon Brando. But anyway, oh no, he is there. Sorry, it's there. Look, they are above him. Marlon Brando, Gene Hackman in a Richard Donner film. Christopher Reeve, all starring Christopher Reeve. Sorry, he is third billing. Unbelievable. But that's how it was. I can't remember. I think he got joint top billing in Superman 2, along with Gene Hackman, I think. But anyway. It's an amazing film. It's one of those special films that I've mentioned before that I think are special. That just is elevated above other films. The original Planet of the Apes films, like the old historical epics like Ben-Hur and films like that are just, I don't know, there's a step above your regular Hollywood output, and this is one of those, I think. Although it's only number 10 in my top 10 favourite movies, but it's an amazing film. It is an amazing film. It spawned It launched the template for all superhero films to follow, which they're kind of still following today. But there we go. So that's Superman, the movie. Right, next up, number 9. I hope this is going to work. Hang on, am I on the right thing? There we go, number 9. Oh, thank God for that. I'm useless with slideshows. I am. I always go the wrong way, but I've gone the right way this time. Number 9, RoboCop. There we go, from 1987, starring Peter Weller, Nancy Allen, Kurtwood Smith, Miguel Ferrer, Ronnie Cox, and Dan O'Hurley here. Directed by Paul Verhoeven. Obviously, I think this might have been his first. I might be wrong. His first, English language blockbuster movie. I could be wrong. But it is an amazing film. Astonishingly violent, but fun. It's comic book violence. Over the top. You can't take it seriously. I'm sure some people do, but it is a huge amount of fun. He plays a Detroit cop who is killed in the line of duty, and the evil, I suppose you could call it evil, I don't know, just misguided, I don't know, whatever, OCP Corporation reanimate him, make him into a cyborg, and he becomes RoboCop, and action and fun ensue. This also spawned a franchise, which never got better. I like RoboCop 2, but it's not as good as the first one, but I still enjoy it. RoboCop 3, whatever. And the TV series and cartoons and TV movies and all that stuff. And a remake, which were pointless. But anyway, so there we go. That's my number 9, the RoboCop. A great score, by the way, from Basil Polidouris. I forgot to mention in the Superman one. Iconic score from John Williams. We will see him again. Or hear from him again. In others in my list. Right, what was that, number 9? Number 8 is Predator. Again from 1987. Arnold Schwarzenegger, obviously, I don't know why I blanked it, in there in big bloody red letters. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Carl Weathers, Shane Black, Jesse Ventura, Bill Duke. Who else am I missing? Richard Chavez. And the woman whose name I've forgotten, Elpidia Carrillo, something like that, isn't it? I apologise, love. I've forgotten your name. Her as well. Directed by John McTiernan. A great fun film. Before he did Die Hard, I think he did Die Hard the year after this. I think he did. Yes, he did, didn't he? Back in the days when films came out, when the Hollywood machine was in full flow, and you didn't have to wait 5 years between movies from directors. But they just got on with it, didn't they, back in the day? Again, a great score from Alan Silvestri this time. I've always said Alan Silvestri, hugely underrated movie composer, score composer. He's done some amazing scores, and he knocked it out of the park again with this one. Great fun. Team of a rescue team, although they don't do a lot of rescuing in this film, but never mind. Go in to rescue people from bad guys, but that becomes moot pretty quickly. Turns out they end up getting hunted by an alien predator. Well, it's not really a predator, I suppose he is, but it's more like a hunter. And action and fun again ensues. That happens a lot in my list. But there we go. So that's number 8, Predator. Right, next up. Number 7, James Bond. The Spy Who Loved Me. My favourite James Bond film of all time. Probably because it was the first one I saw in the cinema. Back in 1977. With a few films from 1977. I think 3. I could be wrong. I think 3 from 1977. This is one of them. Directed by Lewis Gilbert. This is his second Bond film he did. The first one he did was For Your Eyes Only, and then he would direct Moonraker after this. So he's directed 3 Bond films as Lewis Gilbert. Roger Moore, of course, as James Bond 007. Barbara Bach as Triple X, Major Amassava, and all the usual gang are there. Desmond Llewellyn as Q. M, I'm blanking on his name as well. What am I like? I'm useless. Who plays M? I've forgotten. I'll have to look it up. As I said, recording as live. I'm useless. But anyway, also has Kurt Jurgens as the bad guy, Carl Stromberg, Richard Keel as Jaws, Carolyn Monroe, kind of briefly, I don't know. It's not in it enough for me. It's one of my all-time crushes is Carolyn Munro, and she's still a handsome woman. I think who plays M? I can't bloody remember his name. I'm blanking on his name. Bernard Lee, of course. Bernard Lee as M. And Lois Maxwell as Moneypenny. My favourite Bond film of all time has got Kurt Jurgens basically wants to destroy the world and reshape it in his own image under the sea, so to speak. But and Bond has got to thwart him, joining up with a Russian agent, which is why it's called The Spy Who Loved Me. And of course they fall in love, and then fall out of love, and then fall in love again. It's amazing. It's an amazing film with a great score from Marvin Hamlish. No John Barry for this one, but Marvin Hamlish did a really good job of the score with this, with some classic Bond music. Great film. I love The Spy Who Loved Me. And amazing visual effects from Derek Meddings, who would go on to do even more amazing visual effects in Moonraker, but 2 years later. Right, next up, number 6, I think we're up to. Is it 6? I think it is. Seventh Voyage of Sinbad. Din, 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 din. That music just gives me a thrill every time it comes on, because the film just starts. That music comes on, and it's amazing. The first colour film from Ray Harryhausen and Charles H. Schneer. Kirby Matthews, Catherine Grant, Torrin Thatcher, in an astonishingly amazing film, and filmed in Dynamation, which is just a MacGuffin marketing thing, isn't it? But the great stop motion monsters and stuff like that from Ray Harryhausen, and it is a fantastic film with a great score. From somebody I've forgotten. I'm blanking again. I'm blanking again on names. I'm hopeless. I should really put more effort into these bloody things, shouldn't I? Anyway, where are we? 740. Who did the music for this? Bernard Herrmann. That's it. Bernard Herrmann. I was saying America. Bernard Herrmann. A brilliant film. A brilliant film. I can't praise it highly enough. I love this film, and everybody else should love it. What happens is Sinbad rescues this chap from a cyclops, a giant cyclops. He's after a magic lamp with a genie in. And Sinbad rescues him, and it turns out he's a baddie, and he wants to get back to get the lamp, and he manipulates events so that it forces Sinbad to take him back to this island with these monsters on, cyclopses and giant rock birds, not birds made of rock, they're just called rock, R-O-C, with 2 heads, and a dragon, and all this stuff, and he fights a skeleton, and it's amazing, and I can't praise it highly enough. Seventh Voyage of Sinbad from 1958, way back in the day. It's not the oldest film on this list. Right, next up, I forgot what number we're on. Is it 5 next? We'll see. Number 5, Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. As we say in the UK, the Wrath. I don't know why we pronounce it Wrath, it's Wrath, isn't it? The Wrath of Khan. Obviously, the second film in the Star Trek movie series. William Shatner, Leonard Nimoy, and all the gang, DeForest Kelley, return as the crew of the USS Enterprise. This time, it's a sequel to the series, the original series episode Space Seed, where Ricardo Montalban returns as Khan, Nooney, and Singh. Pardon me. And Kirk he escapes from SETI Alpha 5, where Kirk left him in the other episode. He escapes from there, vowing vengeance on Kirk, and all that jazz. And it is a great film, directed by Nicholas Meyer, who wasn't a Star Trek fan. He essentially rewrote the script. He's not credited as writing the script, but he essentially rewrote the script. I think he watched every episode of Star Trek, the original series, because that's all that were available at the time. And as it became a Star Trek fan, and it shows, because he made this amazing film, which does take liberties with Star Trek lore somewhat, but it's still in the spirit of it, and it is it's an amazing film, from an amazing year, 1982. Lots of great films came out that year, but this was the highlight for me. Great score from James Horner, an early score from James Horner, not the earliest, but an early one. And great effects from Industrial Light and Magic. Wasn't a fan of the phasers. They have pew pew phasers in Star Trek 2. I like beam phasers. It shows a beam phase on the bloody poster. This doesn't happen in the film. That's just the Enterprise firing on the space station, regular one. That doesn't happen because it just doesn't. But never mind. But in the film they have that phasers instead of phasers. If that makes sense. Anyway, so there we go. So that's I think it's number 5. Whatever. Star Trek 2: The Wrath of Khan. Right, next up, number 4, The Black Hole, a Disney film. The Black Hole, directed by I can't really remember. Gary Nelson, directed by Gary Nelson. I don't know what else he did. Stars Anthony Perkins, Joseph Bottoms, Robert Forster, Maximilian Schell, Yvette Mimieux, and the voices of Roddy McDowall and Slim Pickens. I love this film. It's just, I don't know, it just oozes atmosphere. And that's a sci-fi film. There's something about it. A great score from John Barry. I think that helps. The score helps with the atmosphere because it's a rich, deep, rumbling score to go with the massive ship that's in it and the black hole that's lurking there. Proper black hole, not this rubbish like you see in that crap film Interstellar. I hate that film. Proper black hole. It looks like a big drain in space circling the plug hole. Looks like one of them. Apologies if you saw snot then. Anyway. An amazing film. I love this and I watch it all the time, The Black Hole. Maybe it should be higher in my list. I don't know, but I'm putting it at number, I've forgotten already, 5, 4, I can't bloody remember. But it's up there. An amazing film. A crew who are on the way home. They've been on a mission looking for habitable life in outer space. I presume that means Earth-type planets. Maybe, I don't know. And that it didn't work. They didn't find any. Don't know how long they've been out in space. I don't know. But they're heading back home on the USS Palomino, and they come across another ship that's been missing for 20 years. The USS Cygnus, which also was on that mission and disappeared 20 years earlier. And one of the crew just happened to be the father of one of Yvette Mimieux's character, who passed away recently, I do believe. But anyway, it turns out that the captain of that ship, Dr. Hans Rider, is on. He's a baddie, and he's got a crew of robots, robot soldiers who they end up got to fight, and the lasers in this are amazing with a great sound as they fire them, chunky laser sounds they've got. And of course they end up going into the black hole at the end, and weird stuff happens at the end. It's probably the weirdest Disney film ever, maybe, I don't know, but and a bit scary in places. But there we go, that's The Black Hole. Great film. Right, next up, 4, 3, I can't remember. 3. I think we're up to number 3 now, aren't we? I've lost count. Who cares? We'll get there. It's Star Wars. Not Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. It's Star Wars from 1977. A film that changed everything. Obviously, everybody knows what Star Wars is. Directed by George Lucas. Amazing music from John Williams. Mark Hamill before he went mad. Harrison Ford before he would crash planes. Carrie Fisher, God bless. Peter Cushing. Anthony Daniels in a role that he would play forever. He never played anything else. No, I'm lying. I've seen him in one other film. I Bought a Vampire Motorcycle, where he plays like a priest or a vicar or something like that. I've never seen him in anything else that's not associated with Star Wars. And Kenny Baker's credited as being R2-D2, although sometimes he's not, but when R2-D2's like moving about, Kenny Baker's in him. The late Kenny Baker. And Dave Prowse in the suit of Darth Vader. James Earl Jones doing the voice, and of course Alec Guinness as Obi-Wan Kenobi. But what can I say? It's Star Wars. If you haven't seen it, there are people out there that haven't seen it somehow. But It's a great film. Even before George faffed about with it in his special editions, don't watch that. Just watch the original. Um, and you won't be sorry. It is a great film, which is why it won 5 Oscars. Didn't win for Best Picture. Lost out to Annie Hall. Unbelievable. But there we go. So that's Star Wars at number 3, I think. We'll see. Number 2 is Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Again from 1977. Steven Spielberg film. I think that year Steven Spielberg said that George Lucas should have won the Oscar for best movie. I don't know if Close Encounters was up for any Oscars. I don't know, but I love this film. I watch this film regularly as well. I think it's Steven Spielberg's best film by a long way. It's up there with Jaws. If I did honourable mentions, Jaws would be in there, probably at number 11 to be honest. But this is a top 10. I love Close Encounters because I love UFOs. I've always had a fascination with UFOs, more so a few years ago. I've kind of got a bit jaded with the subject now, but this makes UFOs magical, if you know what I mean. I don't know. Romantic. UFOs are romantic, even though there are some scary parts in this film. Anyway, directed by Steven Spielberg, starring Richard Dreyfuss, Terry Garr, the beautiful and late Terry Garr. I always thought, how did Richard Dreyfuss's character end up with that wife, the Terry Garr, Ronnie she's called, in the film? How did he end up with her? Because she's way out of his league. But anyway, Melinda Dillon, Francoise Truffaut, and Bob Balaban as well. Encountering UFOs, basically, and the effects by Douglas Trumbull are amazing. They're still amazing to this day. Done in like smoke rooms and stuff like that, so the UFOs have this aura around them, and you just have to see it to believe it. And especially in HD, or 4K or whatever, it still stands up to this day. There's one special effects shot in it that I don't like, and that kind of, I don't know, as they say, takes me out of the film. I hate that saying, but it's one where there's a UFO close to some people underneath, and that doesn't look real. But everything else just looks real. It does to me, anyway. So Close Encounters of the Third Kind. By the way, this is not in the film. It never shows this in the film, but it gives you an idea, what's going on. Great film. That's in my opinion, the second greatest film of all time. Anyway, my favourite film of all time, I've mentioned it before. If you don't remember, I will tell you now. It's King Kong from 1933. I still think this is the greatest film of all time. The first true blockbuster, in my opinion. The word blockbuster, by the way, comes from cinema goers when they used to queue around the block. That's why they call them blockbusters. They used to queue around the block to see a movie. I think this was the first one that did that. Maybe some might argue that the old like Frankenstein and Dracula, the Universal horrors, maybe they had blockbusters. I don't know, but this was the first blockbuster. I think it was the first film to get a re-release a couple of years later. It is amazing, even to this day. Yes, it is. The special effects do look creaky, but they're still amazing when you think about when it were made. 1933. What is it? 91 years ago. 92 years ago. Now, coming up on the centenary of this film, nearly 100-year-old film, and it still looks amazing. And there is a colourised version out there, which isn't too bad, to be completely honest. It's not too bad. Is the colourised version, obviously originally in black and white, and with stop motion effects by Willis O'Brien, with dinosaurs and Kong himself, and starring Fay Wray, the beautiful Fay Wray. While she was filming this, she was filming another film. She was essentially working 24 hours a day while she was doing this. She was doing another film called The Deadliest Prey. I think that's what it's called, something like that. Also called The Hounds of Zaroff in the UK, and I think she filmed that at night and King Kong during the day. She put on a blonde wig for King Kong because she's naturally a brunette. Put on a blonde wig for King Kong. Then she had the natural brunette hair for the Deadliest Prey. I think that's what it was called. Something like that. And did them both at the same time because they used the same sets and everything. The same jungle sets for both movies. Anyway, that's her. Robert Armstrong, Bruce Cabot. And it is amazing. They go to an island. They go to Skull Island, these people. This chap's wanting to make a film. You've all seen the Peter Jackson version. It's that, but shorter and better. They go to this island. There's dinosaurs there, and not very politically correct natives. But you know what the hell? They get there. Fairy. Amdarrow is a character name. Gets taken by Kong. He kind of falls in love with her. He's fascinated with her because she looks different to what he's used to because she's got blonde hair and all that. He's not used to seeing that. Takes her to his cliff top apartment, so to speak. And the good guys have got to go and rescue her. And obviously they capture Kong, take him to civilization. It all goes wrong. And he ends up on top of the Empire State Building. And the rest is history. An amazing film, and in my opinion, the greatest film of all time is the original King Kong from 1933. So there we go. That's my top 10. Shall we go through it? I'll go through it again. So we'll cycle through. Like that. Number 10, pardon me, was Superman the movie. At number 9, RoboCop, the future of law enforcement. It says there. At number 8, Predator, soon the hunt will begin, I suppose. Number 7, The Spy Who Loved Me. At number 6, The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad. Copyright claims coming from my beautiful singing. At number, I forgot what we're on, 6, Star Trek 2, The Wrath of Khan. I won't do any more music. At number 5, The Black Hole. I can't remember. What the hell? At number 4, Star Wars. Not A New Hope, it's just Star Wars. That's all it's called. Number 2. Hang on, I've lost track now. 4, 3, 2, I don't know, whatever. At number 2, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Amazing film. And at number 1, King Kong. Have I missed one out? Hang on, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, we're right, yeah. I thought I'd got it all wrong then. What the hell? So anyway, so there we go. So that's my top 10. Movies of all time. If you agree with me, let me know in the comments. If you disagree with me, let me know in the comments. As I said, there's lots of films that could be in this list, but this is just my personal top 10 favourite movies. As I said, there are other movies that are up there. If I had honourable mentions, I'd include films like Jaws, probably 2001, the original Planet of the Apes. What else? Films like When Harry Met Sally. I love that film. That'd be up there. There's a million films that could be in my honourable mentions, and a million that could be in this top 10. But as I said, this is my personal top 10 favourite movies of all time. Right, we will leave it there. So, I will again reiterate, don't forget to like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, all that stuff. But I'll bugger off now and let you get on with your day. So, thanks for watching, and wherever you are, look after each other, and until next time, I'll say there.
That old Yorkshire keeper stories to unfold. Keep your eyes wide open and your soul